What if one emotional mistake slowly traps you inside a murder conspiracy? What if wealth, loneliness, and desire push you toward a point of no return? And what if every choice you make pulls you deeper into danger? Today's movie is a psychological thriller where love, manipulation, jealousy, and greed collide. This is not just a story about money. It's a story about how loneliness can be weaponized. So sit tight, because this film proves that sometimes being rich is the most dangerous thing of all. The story revolves around Josie Potenza, a beautiful, intelligent woman married to Tony Potenza, a powerful, wealthy businessman living in San Francisco. On the surface, Josie has everything: luxury apartment, expensive lifestyle, financial security. But emotionally, her marriage is completely empty. Tony is distant, arrogant, and obsessed with control. He treats Josie less like a wife and more like a possession. Money has replaced love in their relationship. Josie is lonely, isolated, and desperate for emotional connection. And this emotional gap becomes the most important weakness in the entire film. One night, feeling ignored and suffocated, Josie decides to attend a party alone. That's where she meets Jake, a charming, mysterious man with intense eyes and a troubled past. Jake listens to her. He understands her pain. He gives her the attention she's been starving for. For Josie, Jake feels like freedom. For Jake, Josie feels like opportunity. They begin talking, meeting again. And slowly, an emotional affair starts forming. Jake subtly plants ideas in her mind. About her husband's cruelty. About how trapped she is. About how some people don't deserve their power. At this stage, Josie doesn't realize she's being manipulated. She thinks she's finally being understood. During one late-night conversation, Jake makes a shocking statement. He casually talks about how some rich people only care about money, and how the world would be better without them. Then comes the turning point. Jake mentions that Tony deserves to die. At first, Josie is horrified. She laughs it off, thinking it's just anger or frustration. But Jake doesn't drop the idea. Instead, he keeps repeating it, slowly, calmly, intelligently. He tells her, if something happened to Tony, you'd finally be free. You'd inherit everything. And no one would ever suspect you. Josie strongly rejects this idea. But the seed has already been planted. Back at home, things with Tony get worse. He humiliates Josie publicly, controls her movements, and constantly reminds her that everything she has belongs to him. Tony even jokes about replacing her, making it clear she's disposable. Each argument pushes Josie emotionally closer to Jake, and farther away from morality. Jake continues acting like a supportive friend, but his intentions are slowly revealed. He wants Tony dead, and he wants Josie's money. Jake now openly discusses a murder plan. He says he can make Tony's death look like an accident. Josie is torn. She knows it's wrong, but she also feels trapped and powerless. Eventually, under emotional pressure, fear, and manipulation, she agrees to discuss the possibility. This is the moment where Josie crosses the line. Not by committing murder, but by allowing the idea to exist. Jake asks her for information. Tony's routines, security systems, travel plans. Josie gives small details, thinking she's still in control. But in reality, Jake is now fully controlling the situation. Suddenly, Jake disappears. Josie panics. She realizes how dangerous the situation has become. Soon after, Tony survives an attempted attack. The police get involved, and suspicion starts creeping toward Josie. Tony becomes paranoid and violent, accusing Josie of betrayal, threatening her emotionally and mentally. Josie is now trapped between a husband who controls her and a manipulator who wants her money. She understands too late that Jake never loved her. She was just a stepping stone. Josie starts investigating Jake's past and uncovers the terrifying truth. Jake has done this before. He targets wealthy, lonely women, manipulates them emotionally, and pushes them into criminal situations. He disappears once the damage is done. Jake finally returns, demanding Josie finish what they started. But this time Josie refuses. She's no longer the lonely woman from the beginning. She realizes survival means fighting back. In a tense final showdown, Josie confronts Jake. The truth comes out. Jake's manipulation, his greed, his lack of remorse. A struggle breaks out, and in a moment of self-defense, Jake is killed. Josie doesn't feel victory. She feels relief mixed with trauma. The nightmare is finally over. In the end, Josie survives, but at a cost. She escapes both a toxic marriage and a deadly manipulation. The Rich Man's Wife is not just a thriller. It's a warning. It shows how loneliness can be exploited, money can attract predators, and emotional neglect can destroy lives. The real villain isn't just Jake. It's emotional isolation, power imbalance, and greed. Josie learns that freedom doesn't come from murder or money. Comes from reclaiming control over your own life. If you enjoyed this deep psychological thriller breakdown, like the video, subscribe for more movie explainers, and comment below.